Mr. Scary Studios. Number one.
Back when I was in 7th grade, our teacher arranged a field trip for us to the biggest library in the city so we could do some research for our projects. This library is huge. It has 4 stories and takes up a large portion of a mall. We were super excited as we got to make our own groups and essentially got to relax in a building with free Wi Fi. After the librarian had given the basic introduction and told us how to find stuff we were looking for, we all branched off into groups. My group was composed of 4 people: JC, Paul, Ryan, and Dave. We walked aimlessly around the library for a while, going up and down the escalators, going into the mall and buying some food. Finally, my project partner, JC, decided we should do some work. And with a bit of coaxing, we managed to get the rest of our group to come with us. We decided upon this one table on the 4th floor, and we set up shop. Along with us, we had brought out laptops, phones, and other necessary stuff. We set up all of our electronics on the table and got to work. After a bit, this girl from our class, Lily, came up to us as we were working. She whispered to us that this guy had been staring at our group for the past half hour. When she had come by before, needless to say, we were creeped out. The guy looked to be around in his late 20s to early 30s and was very disheveled. We considered moving, but due to the amount of stuff we had set up, and since we outnumbered him 4 to 1, we decided to bear out the last hour or so. After a while, I had forgotten about the staring man. I had to complete my project and was very focused in that. And due to my focus, I failed to realize that my friends had whispered to each other and they had left until they were on their way down to the 3rd floor. Now there's just me with $7,000 worth of electronics at the table, which I can't leave unattended. This is a fairly secluded part of the library. It's hidden between a few bookshelves and cannot be seen unless someone is looking for a book in this part. At this point, I turned my eyes towards the man who was staring at us early. He is rapidly making his way towards me, and he had put his hand in his pocket like he was grabbing something. When he was almost at the table, one of Lily's friends, Caroline, walked over. She was coming to ask Dave for his USB. The man did a 180 and immediately walked away as soon as he saw her. He then proceeded to sit down and stare at me and her, and at this point she was also aware of what's going on. We noped the heck out of there. And originally the guy tried following us, but he disappeared when he saw us, walking towards one of the desks. I finally found one of my friends, who were laughing their asses off over the prank they'd pulled on me, and they laughed even harder as I told them what happened. Once we were finally loaded onto the buses and on our way out of there, a girl was telling a few guys about how this man had tried to grab her near the bathrooms. I asked her how he looked, and she gave the exact description of the library guy. So, library guy, can we not meet? Thanks.
Number two.
I posted a while back about my college creep experience where I was stalked for a time. The dude followed me around school to my favorite hangouts, and even home. I thought it was over at the time. That's not my luck. Fast forward to about 2 months ago, and I was out walking to the gas station one night to meet my now ex-fiancée at work. It was a chilly night, and I had stubbed my toe, but I just got a feeling, so I kept my eye out for anything suspicious. Along came this red and white truck, like what I remembered the college dickhead drove. He picked a parking lot between me and the gas station and pulled in. Then opened the door and waited. I assumed it was going to be a drug deal, but it still creeped me out. So I turned and walked back toward the main street. I got a ride to the gas station. So here it is a few months later, and I find out that he's actually been hanging around the small town where I lived. A few weeks ago, I've since been broken up with and had to move in with my parents. I have no evidence. I can't go to the police on suspicion. I spend a lot of time alone at home in the middle of nowhere. If he finds out I move back there, I'm fucked, folks. Creepy college dude, for the love of all that still matters, let's not meet.
Number 3.
So this event is still going on as I write this. A few hours ago I heard the sound of a gong, or something similar to a gong, play twice in a row and then stop. I was frightened, and others in my house were as well. It happened again about 30 minutes ago, which was at about 1 to 1:15 a.m. I have a floodlight attached to the top of my window, so I turned that on and looked through my blinds to see if there was someone out there. I didn't see anything, but I am still hearing strange noises, but nothing like the gong sound I heard earlier. About 5 minutes ago, I just heard someone trying to make the screen off of the window on the first floor to try and break in through that window. I have seen someone traces of something tampering with that window before, but that was just a few weeks ago. I just now recently heard something that sounded like two people. One was someone walking up my wooden porch to get access to the window, and another was someone running across my yard. So Mr. Gongman, let's not meet. Update. Last night, I slept with both of my windows open and did not hear a thing from Mr. Gongman. Many people have asked why I didn't call the police, and that's because I didn't want to call the police and have it be something stupid, like an animal ran into a lamppost or something. I know that was a stupid thing to do because it could have been someone after me, but so far so good. Everything has been quiet for the most part, and it's okay. Sorry for such a late update. I have not had time to get on Reddit.
Number 4.
One night, me and 4 of my friends were going to a waterfall at a state park. And to get there, you have to take a bunch of back roads. But we knew where we were going. We noticed a police car starting to follow us on every turn. And my friend who was driving tried to make an extra turn to get rid of him, thinking maybe he just needed to get around us, but he followed. This went on for a while before she finally found a place to turn around, but the car immediately pulled in behind us, blocking the exit, and then turned his sirens on. We saw him getting out and coming to the car. My friend in the passenger seat got her pepper spray ready, so he gets to the window, not in a uniform, giving us no proof of identification. He is quite young for a sheriff, which is what his car is labeled. He tells us he isn't on duty, but they called him in and said we ran a stop sign and thought we must be lost. Okay, what? He starts asking us questions about where we're from, asking us if we were headed to the falls, saying we must be freshmen if we don't know how to get there, even asking what phone service we used. I was sitting in the back seat behind the driver and could see he kept fiddling with something behind his back. Finally, he tells us to follow him to the end of the street and then turn left. When we got to the end of the street, he mentioned us to pull beside him. So we do, and he tells us to watch out for deer. He told us he slammed one just the other night, cackles at himself, and peels out the opposite direction than we're going. Mind you, we're 4 19-year-old girls in a car with college stickers and some girly-looking bumper sticker. Not sure what this guy was up to, but thank God there were 4 of us and not just one. Shady guy claiming to be a police officer? Let's not meet.